Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving deep into the full Jeopardy episode that aired on Friday, September 12th, 2025. This was an incredible game with some truly nail-biting moments. So if you missed it, you're in for a treat. And if you watched it, let's relive all the action together. We had our returning champion, Sarah, who came in with a two-day total of over $50,000. She was up against two new challengers. David, a history professor from Chicago, and Maria, a software engineer from Austin. Right from the start, the energy was high, and you could tell this was going to be a competitive match. The Jeopardy round started off strong. David, the history professor, went straight for the world capitals category and ran the first three clues, building an early lead. Sarah seemed a little slow off the buzzer at first, but she found her footing in the literary heroines category. Maria was playing a strategic game, jumping around the board looking for the daily double. The categories were really diverse today. We had everything from pop culture collabs to biology 101. One of the trickiest clues of the round was under. In the dictionary for 1,000, this 8-letter word for an official count of a population comes from the Latin for to assess. David buzzed in with census, and he was correct. Maria's strategy paid off. About halfway through the first round, she landed on the daily double under American history for $800. At this point, she had $2,000, trailing David, who was at $3,400, and Sarah at $2,800. It was a perfect time to make a big move. She decided to bet it all, making it a true daily double. The clue was, this future president was the only signer of the Declaration of Independence to also sign the Constitution. A tough one for sure. Maria took a deep breath and correctly answered Benjamin Franklin. What a gutsy move. That instantly shot her into the lead with $4,000. The crowd went wild, and you could see the dynamic of the game completely shift. Going into the first commercial break, the scores were tight. Maria at $4,000, David at $3,400, and Sarah close behind at $2,800. It was anyone's game. It's coming back from the break. Sarah really turned up the heat. She dominated a category called movie taglines, correctly identifying taglines for classics and modern blockbusters alike. It was clear she had a knack for pop culture. She managed to rack up some serious cash and retake the lead just as the round was coming to a close. David, however, wasn't letting her get too far ahead. He snagged the last few high-value clues in ancient empires, showcasing his expertise. By the end of the Jeopardy round, the scores were incredibly close. Sarah had fought her way back to the top with $6,800. David was right on her heels with $6,200, and Maria was still very much in it with $5,400. It was a three-way race, and the tension was palpable as we headed into Double Jeopardy. The Double Jeopardy round kicked off with some brand new and much tougher categories. We had Shakespeare's plays, the human body, 19th century innovators, international cuisine, and words that start with Q. The bigger dollar amounts meant the scores could change in a heartbeat. Sarah, our returning champ, got the first daily double, which was hidden under Shakespeare's plays for $1,600. She had a narrow lead with $9,200. She decided to play it a bit safe and wagered $3,000. The clue was in The Tempest. This character is the spirit who serves Prospero. Sarah confidently answered Ariel, and it was correct. Lead grew to $12,200, putting some distance between her and the others. But the game was far from over. David, the history professor, was on a mission. He found the second daily double in the 19th century innovators category. At this point, he had $8,600, while Sarah was still in the lead. David knew he had to make a big wager to have a shot at winning. He bet $7,000, a massive risk that could either put him in the lead or take him out of contention. The clue was, he patented the first commercially successful electric telegraph in 1837, forever changing communication. The pressure was immense. David took a moment, then correctly answered Samuel Morse. What a comeback. His score jumped to 15,600, catapulting him into first place. Studio audience erupted. Now, with just a few clues left on the board, David was in the lead, Sarah was in second, and Maria was in a distant third. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. As the final clues were cleared, the board was set for Final Jeopardy. David held the lead with $17,200. Sarah, our resilient two-day champion, was in a strong second place with $14,600. And Maria, who had played a great game but struggled a bit in the second round, was in third with $6,200. This was a classic Jeopardy scenario. It wasn't a runaway, and the final wager would be absolutely critical for both David and Sarah. Maria was in a tough spot, needing both of them to get it wrong and wager big to have any chance. The category for Final Jeopardy was World Landmarks. This is a broad category, so it could be about anything from ancient wonders to modern marvels. The players looked focused as they prepared to hear the final clue of the day. And here is the Final Jeopardy clue, completed in 1883. This structure was the first to be lit using electricity and was dubbed the eighth wonder of the world upon its opening. The famous Think music began, and the contestants got to work. This is a great clue because it requires connecting a few different pieces of information: the year, the use of electricity, and its nickname. Maria, in third place, revealed her answer first. She wrote down the Eiffel Tower. Unfortunately, that was incorrect, as the Eiffel Tower was completed a few years later. She wagered everything, so her score went down to 0. Next up was our champion, Sarah. She needed to get this right and hope David got it wrong or made a small wager. She revealed her answer, the Brooklyn Bridge, and she was correct, her wager. She bet it all, $14,600, doubling her score to $29,200. An amazing, bold move. Now, it all came down to David. He was in the lead, going into Final Jeopardy. Did he know the answer? And more importantly, how much did he wager? He revealed his response, the Brooklyn Bridge. He was also correct. The win now depended entirely on his bet. He had $17,200. To cover a potential LN bet from Sarah, he needed to wager at least $12,001. He revealed his wager. $12,001, exactly what he needed. His final total came to $29,201. By just one single dollar, David became the new Jeopardy champion, ending Sarah's impressive run. What an unbelievable finish. The closest possible margin of victory. David played a fantastic game, making that huge daily double bet pay off in the end. Huge congratulations to him, and a big round of applause for Sarah and Maria, who were both incredible competitors. What a game. It just goes to show that on Jeopardy, every dollar and every decision counts. And that's a wrap on our recap of the September 12th episode. What a roller coaster. From Maria's early daily double to David's game-changing bet and that $1 victory, this episode had it all. Did you guess the Final Jeopardy clue correctly? Let me know down in the comments. I'd love to hear what you all think. It's always fun to break down the strategy and discuss the toughest clues together. If you enjoyed this breakdown and want to see more recaps of your favorite game shows, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the next one. We'll be back to cover all the action from the upcoming week of games. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.